What's happening, everyone? My name is Speedstreak. Welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Now, as you may have known last time, we've looked through all of the clues to see what we can find out about this new murder. And for now, we don't know who the we don't know who the victim is, but I may have a clue. And Kyoko claims to have found, claims to have been in the second floor for the dorms. Okay. So it looks like I think all my SP is good for now. Melodious voice. So it looks like everything seems to be all set and ready. I wrote down as many of the... hopefully as much as I can for the clues. I hope so. So, without further ado, may the fifth trial begin.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Oh, I almost forgot to mention, if the trial it gets a bit too long, then I might have to cut it down.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Let's not do that.
Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Thanks, Monokuma. Oh, what's also strange enough is that when we woke up earlier in the morning, Monokuma was being dismantled by everyone else. And what's interesting is that after we dismantled Monokuma, we tried to get into the headmaster's room, but we discovered the body, which led us to the mastermind's control room, which are all the cameras. But strangely enough, usually when we find a body, Monokuma never appeared. Well, never announced it.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim.
Okay then.
First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko! There's no other explanation.
She's right here, idiot!
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Duh!
No! That's a ghost!
Nope.
But she has legs and stuff.
Yeah, and besides, if you see a ghost, they usually don't have any legs.
Well, that's just because...
Because what?
She's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
It's not like Ghostbusters or Danny Phantom?
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Okay.
Her traits?
Oh, her traits. One important trait Kyoko has... Kyoko's gloves. Oh wait, is it Kyoko's face? Her gloves.
I got it!
Oh yeah, it is her gloves.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
Well, apparently, Monokuma stated, if I remember correctly, Monokuma stated that the reason why she wears those gloves is because to hide some, well, like, scars. And I think I stated before, it's almost like Doctor Strange.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
True.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Well, if they got burnt up in the explosion, then we would have seen some fabric on the hands.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Man, he's still convinced that Kyoko's a ghost. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So, I don't have any choice but to... what? Oh, prove him wrong? Make my argument. Okay, let's see our truth bullets are. Tattoo on the right hand, exploded body analysis, and fake nails. Ooh, Okay, let's observe everything very clearly. I think what's interesting is that the reason why...
That Kyoko there is just a ghost!
Well, I'll talk more about it
Impossible.
as we're done.
Okay, then prove it! Prove she's not a ghost!
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
That wouldn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
Exploded body analysis.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Okay, then. I know that the body isn't Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it. I think, as I was saying, I think I know the reason why the trials get longer and longer and longer is because, well, we've been getting fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer allies along the way because they keep killing each other.
That Kyoko there is just a... Okay, then prove it!
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up in the explosion!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
No.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse
Dang it,
is
I missed it.
absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is
I missed
idiotic.
it. I was trying to make sure not to hit those thingamabombs.
That Kyoko there
Those
is...
purple...
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it!
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I think it has to do with the timing skills.
That Kyoko there...
Impossible.
Okay,
let's try
then
this
prove
again.
it!
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up!
Then she was wearing gloves before...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
Crap.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That
Let's try this again.
Kyoko
Impossible.
Okay, then prove...
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up!
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Dang it, wrong
Because that
button.
corpse is absolutely Kyoko!
This
I
entire
keep pressing the
discussion
wrong
is
button for
idiotic.
the purple words. The purple words are like blocks, and I need to
That Kyoko
get
there...
rid of them.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up and...
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is
come
absolutely
on!
Kyoko!
I need to be faster than that.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I need to be faster than that.
That Kyoko there is just...
Impossible.
Okay,
Yes.
then prove it.
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up in the
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse
No,
is
come
absolutely
on!
Kyoko!
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I know it's the right one. The exploded body analysis I
That
need to
Kyoko
prove
there...
Impossible.
him.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Go, 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 go! No, dang it. Okay, that was wrong. Shoot! I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction there somewhere. Okay, so it's not the
That
exploded body
Kyoko
analysis.
there is just a ghost.
Could be the fake nails. It
Impossible!
has to be.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not...
The dead body wasn't...
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
There we go. Fake nails.
No, that's wrong!
So it's the fake nails. Okay. Was Kyoko wearing any nails? I don't think so.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Yeah.
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
If you think about it, then yeah. I mean, if you put gloves over fake nails, then it would be actually hurting your fingers.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Yeah.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life.
Really?
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
There you have it. See, Yasuhiro?
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yeah, but Yasuhiro's like, oh, it's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's a ghost.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Yeah. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Alright, here we go. Make your argument. Sprinklers exploded by analysis, tattoo on the right hand. Okay. Let's see
If
here.
Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Okay.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Yeah, it has to be the tattoo on the right hand, but which one is it? And the only thing that can tell us was on the victim's own body.
If Kyoko really...
Then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Here we go!
No, that's wrong!
Tattoo on the right. Or is this my left? I think, yeah, this is my right.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
Yeah, it's a tattoo.
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
I'm not lying.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
No.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
Okay.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Fenrir, to be exact.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
No.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, definitely not.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Thank you, Byakuya.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should be clear. Like, Mukuro Ikusaba. Present key item.
I got it!
Mukuro Ikusaba.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad
Yeah.
would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Well, I'm glad that we, well, teamed up with Byakuya on this one. And he's not being like a, well...
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, Hangman's Gambit. Ooh. It's a... Oh, it's a wolf. Oh, let's see here. W. Where's the W? Now an F. We need an F. That was actually the easiest one I've ever done. For
Now I
Hangman's Gambit.
understand!
That is actually the easiest one ever.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Ooh.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast.
But according to Marvel Studios, it's also the pet of Hela, the goddess of death.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Well, Marvel Studios had to change it somehow.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf.
Yeah.
Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
So we now know the victim.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
I don't think so.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right.
What?
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Oh, so Mukuro was a victim in all this.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Really?
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
No, she was actually called the Ultimate Soldier.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Kyoko?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then, who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Yeah, definitely. You got something right. You got that right.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
Actually, she might be.
Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
That's for us to find out.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
I don't think so.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
What? Really?
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Monica, will you please just pipe down? We're trying to have a discussion here, okay?
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Yeah, you just wanted to see who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, but it wasn't any of us.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait.
Dang it.
But remember this.
Oh, I get it. Monica doesn't want them to uncover the identity of Mastermind very soon.
No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation.
What? Provocation?
Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record.
Okay, then what is it?
The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
Yeah, we know that. We've done it over 5 times. We've done it 5 times already.
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
I don't think so.
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
How could we?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Okay.
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Yeah, you four already know that you didn't kill her.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
It wasn't me who killed her. Based on what we know, there can be only two suspects, Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
Okay then.
So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden.
Yeah.
However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
So that means you all have alibis.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs.
That is actually very smart.
All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Yeah.
Exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Dang it! I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
What is it?
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
Okay then.
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
That is...
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
Okay, so the murder takes place after 10 o'clock.
So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
That's a pretty...
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
Yes.
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
Around 9 o'clock
The
a.m.
one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? At 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Oh well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
Yeah, but what if we can narrow it down to... What if we can narrow it down lower?
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around...
8:30.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Right
7:30.
around 7:30.
Oh, 7:30, that's right.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. Okay then, looks like the game has begun. If I can't prove an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay then, now we have to prove it's the sprinklers. Yep, sprinklers. Oh. Okay then.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Yeah.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Okay.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
7:30. There's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Thinking back, the corpse was almost totally dry. In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden. 7:30.
We've established a time frame. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep, and Makoto.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
What? Ah, nuts. Okay. Shoot.
We've established a
Time frame for the. It took place.
somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder.
Murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep, and Makoto.
Yeah, from to 7:30.
Okay, that didn't work at all. Crap. Shoot. I need to think about one more time. I know there must be a contradiction around there somewhere.
We've established a
Time frame for the murder. It took
place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Could it be
and
10
9 o'clock. Yep, and Makoto.
Yeah, to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections,
Now would be the time.
we've established
Established a time frame. It
took place somewhere between.
Oh, there we go.
No, that's wrong.
That's okay. So that's it. I have to hit it. Okay.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
The sprinkler.
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
Okay, there we go.
The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right?
True.
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30,
It would have been wet.
then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly.
Really?
The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How?
The body analysis.
Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
Yes, because Makoto splashed water on it to put out the fire.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, she was knocked down in this part.
By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Okay then. I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh, do I have to... Oh, moment of truth.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on.
Final strike.
How can you say it wasn't the
This should prove it.
Exploded body analysis. I'm getting pretty good at this. Kind of.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion. and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Yes.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
That is a good explanation. Good observation.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on.
Yeah.
The reason only the top half was wet was because
I splashed water.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Yeah.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place
After 7.
sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Yeah.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Yeah.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Thank you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing.
What is it?
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Oh.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
No. She couldn't have been.
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
No, I mean, even Monokuma didn't give us a motivation to kill anyone.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
It's a trap!
A trap?
Yes.
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me?
Yes.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
Yes, please. Thank you, Monokuma.
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko?
Unless the ultimate despair meant something else.
But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
What?
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Could sprinklers have been turned off?
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
It's the tarp. A certain something that is used to cover up the body. Could have been... a tarp. That could be a
I got it!
complete explanation.
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick.
Thank you.
You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
Yeah.
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
Ooh.
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
What? Why would Kyoko say that? Why would you want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body.
Wait. Something's not right.
What is it?
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Okay, so what can we expect from here? Fragments near the dead body? Body before the explosion. Fragments near the dead body.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
Yes.
But the underside of the tarp,
It's clean.
it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Whoops. Remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet. Kyoko even warned us not to touch it, to avoid getting any blood on us.
By covering the body, the killer prevented.
So the reason that is because the spring.
But the underside, it was totally.
It's because
think I
that
know-
side.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh crap. That was wrong. That was the wrong button.
By covering the body, the killer prevented.
So the reason that is because the spring.
But the underside, it was totally.
It's because that side was
Protected from.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh man, I need to get rid of that thing.
By covering the body, the killer prevented.
So the reason that is because the spring.
But the underside, it was totally.
It's because that side was.
Since it was facing down, of course it didn't get dirty.
There we go.
No, it's wrong.
Because if the tarp was clean on one side, then why was there blood there?
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
True.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Well, if they washed it, they would have also washed the other side as well.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
What is camouflage? What do you mean by that? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
The chicken! Oh, that would make a lot of sense.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time.
Okay.
The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Okay. They got blood from there in the garden, right? Which must mean the chicken. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
A gun!
Fuck.
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
Uh-oh.
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
5 chickens.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
That would make sense why there wasn't any blood around on the ground.
Man, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
And what theory is that?
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
What is it?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right?
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it.
Yeah.
The ground was completely clean.
That is true.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No, it was the opposite.
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Yeah.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off.
Murder before the sprinklers.
But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp.
Was covered.
Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood.
Hold the coat over their body. Over the body.
This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred.
Disguise the time.
They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
So they went off before 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Really?
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
But still, what?
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Yeah.
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
What?
That's not...
Yeah.
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Mastermind is trying to pin this on me. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added to Truth Blood section of your handbook?
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
That's new.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
What?
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
What is it?
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Yes.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Yeah, but there was no blood on the ground.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Uh-uh.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So, what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
What? Oh, that's right. I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. Though, I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it! 12,000% convinced!
No. Considering everything up to now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I am not the killer. Okay then. Describe dead body, explode body analysis, fragments near the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then... that seals it! Makoto did it!
No.
Just because I had the knife once? That automatically makes me the killer?
No, it doesn't.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it!
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Which means that when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body...
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatic...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
Oh, there we go.
No, that's wrong.
I don't think getting stabbed is what killed her. Because... well, let's explain it.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
Yes.
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Really? The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No. There's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Wait. Oh. Is it this one?
I got it!
Oh, it is!
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
Knife was camouflage. So there's no way I could have done it.
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
Draw attention away. What actually killed her?
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Yeah.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but
But what?
what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
It was a bomb.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
No, it was a bomb.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Okay then. There's only one explanation I could think of for the explosion. Let's see here. Fragments in your dead body?
I got it!
Yes!
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Yes.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Yeah.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
But how did it get way over there?
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
Yeah.
And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Really?
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
Yeah.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
Okay.
It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Now everyone is suspecting Kyoko. We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Okay. Let's look through the truth bullets. Makoto File 5?
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
No, obviously,
I guess.
obviously not.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
knife was a cover, and those other wounds on the body weren't fresh. Her body weren't fresh. Only these.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal in.
The explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't. Then there's only one other.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
That wasn't right.
Shoot!
Think about it one more time.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal in.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Let's see here.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Countless wounds.
Then shall we continue
The debate?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't. Then there.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue? The victim's
Fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for.
well, yeah.
And it wasn't. Then there.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
That wasn't it.
Shoot!
I have to think. Explosion. She was stabbed once with a knife. She was struck in the head with a blunt object. Several days.
Then shall we continue?
Continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury.
The explosion didn't kill.
Well,
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Then there's only one other thing.
oh yeah.
Trying to look for his weak spots.
That's gotta be it. There was evidence
That showed she was hit.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Dang it.
Shoot!
I'm trying to think of the contradiction.
Then shall we
Continue
the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined,
And I
correct?
messed up. Crap. I don't
Shoot!
know what to do. I don't know what to do. Crap.
Is this...
Yes, I'm gonna give it another shot.
I refuse to give up yet!
What could it be? Let's try this again. Why am I gonna come to file 5?
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Okay.
Shoot!
Now, this might be
Then
the
shall
most
we
difficult
continue
part.
The debate? The victim's
Fatal injury.
Okay, so Makoto file states that due to the explosion, the victim then is unknown. However, dead before the blast. Victim was stabbed once with a knife, went through the body, was struck with the head with a blunt object, which is thick as a metal pipe. Body was covered in wounds. The other wounds were several days old. My jacket was covered.
The explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Dang it.
Then,
shall we continue? The victim's fatal
the explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then there
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than
I
that,
don't know.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then,
shall we continue? The victim's fatal
the explosion didn't
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that,
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Shoot!
Then,
shall we continue? The victim's fatal
the explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
then,
Shall we continue? The victim's fatal
the explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
and more than that,
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire
then,
Shall we continue? The victim's fatal
the explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed
Why
she
do I
was hit
keep-
on the back of her head.
Why do I keep missing
and
that?
more than that,
The victim had suffered
Why do I keep
countless
missing
wounds
that?
across her entire body. Then shall we continue?
It
The
has to be
victim's
the-
fatal
the explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't then
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
No! Crap, that wasn't it.
Shoot!
Oh my gosh, I'm not doing so well with this one.
then,
Shall we continue? The victim's fatal
the explosion didn't kill
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it.
I'm trying to think.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Knife was a cover-up. All those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. The explosion?
then shall we continue?
The debate?
I don't
The victim's
know.
fatal injury has
the explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
No, that's not it.
Shoot!
I...
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal
The explosion didn't
Well, yeah.
and it wasn't
Then there's only one other thing.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
and more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
That's... How...
Shoot!
I don't know. Okay. I'll be right back once I've figured this out.
The victim's fatal injury had
There we go!
No,
Okay,
it's wrong!
now I get it. It's hitting on back. Victim's fatal injury. Back of the head. There we go.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
There we go.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
No, she must have gotten them when she joined Fenrir.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Well,
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
yeah.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
No, if it was, then it would have been jutting out her head.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
True.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No.
No way! the balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
Physics.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Okay, move along.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
The arrows.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon. I believe it would be the titanium arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Yeah.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah. I don't blame him for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. There's no blood on it, except for the duct tape. Bloody duct tape. Okay,
The titanium arrow.
now that we've gotten...
It was in the
Focus.
dojo locker, right?
Yeah.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master!
Too thin.
You have no right!
If it was just that titanium arrow, it wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used... as I said
The
before.
titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound.
Well, it said the weapon must... It seems like an arrow.
Bloody duct
No,
tape!
it's wrong!
Break!
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Yeah.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Oh.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
Really?
One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Fair. That is actually very good poetry right there.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway,
Actually, it's
that
a
explains the murder weapon.
Actually, that's a good, the moral. That's actually a good moral.
As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Oh, it's the dojo
oh.
locker key.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to.
What is it?
The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Yeah.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Okay then. I have evidence? It means that Kyoko went to the dojo. Must be connected to that dojo locker. I knew it was the key.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
But wait! Kyoko was never in her room because Byakuya took her keys.
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her.
Yeah.
Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
What?
She was protecting me? Then, does that mean she... Oh... She knew I was being attacked. And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? Does that mean... When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
No, she couldn't. Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never...
there's proof that you is that what you're...
You stated... You said I hid the...
And then left the locker key in my own room. But could I
really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya, what are you...
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
I'm nuts.
Is that what you're...
You stated... You said I hid...
and then left the locker key in my own room. But
could I really have done that?
No, she couldn't.
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never...
there's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're...
You stated... You said I hid...
and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
But could I really have done that?
I know what to do. Just need to put out the right timing.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never...
There's proof that you are...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Counter.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Yeah, because Byakuya took her key. There we go. Okay, thank goodness.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Yeah.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Thank you. No. That's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie? But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Probably has to be something else. Was there a deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap for the mastermind has laid for us. Mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap. This is new. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether I have to expose Kyoko's lie. I get it?
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying. It must be because there's some other deeper truth that she wants to keep hidden. Oh. Did I make the right choice? Kyoko's account.
I didn't have the key to my room. Because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
Kyoko told me before the trial started that she had stolen something very important from the headmaster's room.
I didn't have the key
Key to my room because I'd given it.
There's no doubt about that.
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then,
What?
when we searched Kyoko's
Why was the
room,
button not working?
how else could the key have gotten there?
That was a bad move.
Shoot!
skeleton
I didn't
key.
have
The key to my... because I'd
given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that,
right.
You are correct.
so I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we how else could the
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
It was the skeleton key.
I didn't
Have the key because I'd given it. There's no doubt.
You are correct.
So I couldn't...
possibly have gotten into my room.
then
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Got it.
No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing.
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
What?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Oh.
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
Did I make the wrong
But
mistake?
that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out.
What?
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you! But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Wait, what? That can't be right. I can't. Wait, what? Did I do something wrong? I think I must have done something wrong. Good job, you got right. Really right. Got it. Right? Does that mean Kyoko's really the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
No, that can't be right. This can't be right! Did I do something wrong? Wait a minute. What? Is he gonna crush her? No! This can't be it! This can't be it! This can't be it at all! No. No, 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 no. Oh, no. I'm sorry about the audio. Really? Once again, I'm very sorry about the audio. This can't be right. This can't be right. No! And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still didn't wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or... Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. And that was the end of Mukuro's class trial. In the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others? What? Peace, but only inside the school? Peace, but only for us? That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope? Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
This isn't right! Huh? Whoa! What just happened? Were we in a dream sequence?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? What just happened? Oh, that's right. I have to... Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do I do? I had to let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill on someone. Holy crap! Seriously? Was that like an alternate ending or something? There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
Mastermind's trap.
Who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Yeah.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
Yeah.
There's only one other possibility I can think of.
Who?
Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
What do you mean by that?
It had to be Makoto, right?
No!
I don't see any other option.
No.
Wait a second! You've got it all wrong! Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Exactly.
Huh? A hidden side?
Yeah.
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Ooh, Makoto's starting to be suspicious.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. and then we're thrown into a trial.
Exactly.
And Kyoko even said it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
What the?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Voting time? What? Something's not right.
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
Yeah, please hold on.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Wait, do I get chosen? Something's not right here. What? Did I do something wrong again? What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
No. It's not all my fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
They got all right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's same as always, just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills,
Time for your
kills!
heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
What? Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
What? So, wait a minute. What the? Is this the same punishment? Yeah, it is. Okay, so wait a minute. Is there like a choice? So, two of those are bad endings? So, in all those three choices, two of them are bad endings? One in which Kyoko dies, and one in which I die? Wow! This is definitely unlike any other trial that we ever had. But holy crap! This is messed up! So for the two of those, Monokuma suspects that we're getting too close to the truth. And that's why he wanted to kill us. That would make so much sense. And once again, I'm very sorry about the audio. That's off. Okay then. But why do Makoto and Kyoko and I have gotten the same punishment? What the? What the? Who's that? Was that alter ego? What? Ah! Oh, whoa, where am I going? Whoa.
What?
Huh?
What's this? What's going on?
So wait a minute. When alter ego got into the system, did he also got into the... Whoa! How did he get into the...
Hey, what was that?
Yeah, it had to be.
This
Alter
is...
ego.
Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network.
Oh, thank you, alter ego. You were with us the whole time. Thank you.
Damn it all the heck! I don't believe this!
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck? What was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Awesome!
What are you talking like you've already won? I barely found a thing. It was a pinch. Pinch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never going to see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. Anyway, that's even a better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm not satisfied. I'm still going to bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the rest of the world.
Kyoko. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the heck is going on?
calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. So it's Monokuma's being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Ooh. A massive high school towers above all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. Wait a minute, are we back to where we last left off? It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Yeah, we're at the beginning. Hope Speak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student will enroll here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Huh? What? What? Where am I? I woke woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't just any classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Whoa! What is this? Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. What is this place? Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. A stench? What an awful smell! I was in a vast dark cavern, the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled all across the area. I survived. Awoke in the trash room. I see some kind of underground garbage pit. Underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I gonna be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. An alter ego saved me. And he used the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First was to start looking for a way out of here. Whoa. Oh, what is that? Is that an airplane? How did something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? An airplane? This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. So an airplane. Is that? That's a rocket. And a tank? I'd better not to think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Okay, it's the desk part. Okay, that's the airplane. Okay, that was the desk again. I don't know why I keep pressing it. What's up with the rocket? And the tank? Crap, it's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Well, that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not a reason to give up. Because I'm still alive! As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. Okay, I have to admit that was pretty funny. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, not after being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Wait, did I get hit in the head? Oh! Crunch. What the what? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. Garbage? As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over here? Over there? Something fell from above. Something fell into the pit. Anything but the pit. What could it have been? Well, time for us to look inside. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched out my hand toward whatever it was that stumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Kyoko! Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Kyoko!
It smells awful.
Yeah, and that piece of ramen on your head isn't helping. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. Oh my gosh. Seriously, for that trial? That is one of the most bizarre trials I've ever seen. I mean, first, Kyoko was... Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. You've got a bit of garbage on your hair. Huh? Oh. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you, Kyoko. Thank you for giving me food. Food! Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Good bread. That was good water. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up, then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. What? Okay then. Oh my gosh! This is a lot of luck! But, Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or no, to atone? Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. Kyoko came to atone. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. She regretted abandoning me. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. And what was that reason, Kyoko? Why did you have to survive? Why Kyoko survived?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is that I came... What she came to this school to do. What do you mean by that? What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. And what reason is that? So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak. I had a reason for coming.
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. She remembered? You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. She remembered. Huh? Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing what happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing. You were talking about when we fainted, right? When I fainted, when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. When I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. The mastermind stole her memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only a reason I could come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. Okay. Because her abilities would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Her memories connected to the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. Why she's investigating by herself. But what if you say it's true? Why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, we all worked as one. The mastermind would have noticed right away. If we worked as one, mastermind would notice. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. Mastermind actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind. One of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there's a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. She wants my help. But why me? Because among everyone, you're least likely to be in the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... oh, I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
I understand.
I should understand everything.
What? Wait... Was this Makoto's dream?
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah! It's just like the dream I had before. But why did that just happen?
Listen,
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just that I'm not used to relying on others. Wasn't used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. So do I have to talk to her more, or... You said you had a reason for doing an investigation on your own. So how did that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally to be able to recall my purpose and my ability. Finally able to recall purpose and ability. You mentioned your ability.
I...
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. Oh! Kyoko is the ultimate detective! That would make so much sense. Why the mastermind took away her memory. She's like the ultimate Sherlock Holmes. Well, a female Sherlock Holmes. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason she came... There was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone. But who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. Headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Oh, this is such a Darth Vader moment. He's her father. No! It can't be true! That's impossible! What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Separated from him as a child. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko? What's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen to Makoto. I want this to make perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. Headmaster is not mastermind. But she said that not to protect him? I said what I based on. I only said what I felt based on what I seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. But what did you see in there?
so...
Whoa. Headmaster room was ransacked. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. Someone didn't know where anything had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicions, I decided to investigate the second floors of the dorms using the key I found. She investigated the second room dorms. Well, second floor dorms. But why there? Because I found this in the headmaster's room. A map? She found a map.
Indeed.
It's the layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. Wow. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's file and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Second floor rooms equal faculty. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed if that were true, that room would likely hold many clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remember my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
Once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. Second floor dorms, no cameras. So what was that like? That part of the school? I mean, it's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized, what? Whatever going on in school, more horrific than we ever imagine. What do you mean by that? That's what I just said.
so...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Can I talk to Kyko a bit more?
However,
Of course, once I got to... Okay, so do we have to get out of here or something? Okay, we already did that. I think what we have to do is get out of here. I better talk to Kyoko. Okay.
However,
Which is why I had no idea what was going on with the rest of the building. Aha! It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. Kyoko did not kill Mukuro. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What can I say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. Mastermind involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Oh, that would explain that alternate end, that mind trip. Class trial. To get Kyoko killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Mastermind... not directly involved because of the school regulations. Interesting. With minimum restrictions, you're free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Mastermind adamant of following the rules. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. That would explain that alternate, quote-unquote, alternate ending. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound to the school regulations. Mastermind themselves is bound to the regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? What? Murder of Mukuro. The point? Mukuro may have not become the victim. Really? Really? The victim could have been me. That would make sense. Oops. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh yeah, when I was having that fever. Do you mean during the night?
I
can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability draws me into cases, just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in dorms and suddenly I had a sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell. I saw a white shadow across the corridor. She saw Mukuro. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course. She saved Makoto.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them. That led to whoever the master assailant was. They ended up dead. Assailant ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. Dojo key in her room. I had to be work of the mastermind, and attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. Work of the mastermind. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right? Whoever killed Mukuro is the mastermind.
Indeed.
I don't have any conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad. That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. But wait, does that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use a class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's just not Mukuro. They needed a class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Needed class trial to kill her. Seemed ready to kill me in my room. Everything they did is contradiction. contradiction. So what does that all mean?
In other words,
It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Mastermind is cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity... The other ultimate despair? The other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is one person. Not just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. Ultimate despair... Whoever caused the event. You're talking about...
That's right.
What happened a year ago? Oh... The biggest... Most awful... Most tragic event a year ago. Oh... A tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that. Whoever responsible is the ultimate despair. Whoops.
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. So the group... Purpose... Motivation... comes from despair. Then there...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. The root of all evil has forced us to go through this. Holy crap. We go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Real enemy. Ultimate despair. Whoa. We still have 6 students left! Holy crap! Oh. Is there one more chapter? An anthem? The Dream Island rocket present? Yes, please, I like to save the data. 5 alive. Yes, I like to overwrite, please. Hopefully I'll be able to, well, get a stopping point soon. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people who put this killing game and began broadcasting it all over the world. Most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
Anyway...
Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figure out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, I think we're going to here. I'm definitely gonna pause right here because unfortunately, that's gonna be all the time I have to take for this video. I mean, seriously, holy crap! That was a very, very interesting trial. I have to say for myself. I mean, as I stated before, it was unlike all the other trials because for one thing, there was one choice in which I can tell that Kyoko was lying, or another one was that, or I can keep my mouth shut. But since I made that first choice, I suddenly I had like a I don't, either a flash forward, flashback, or a mind palace that Monokuma stopped Kyoko and killed her, and we had to live throughout the rest of our lives in Hope's Peak, which, if you think about it, was not a very good ending. I'm so glad that we went back and figured out, and we helped save Kyoko, and she revealed that she didn't kill Mukuro, but she still saved us. And whoever killed Mukuro, who is also the ultimate despair who caused the great tragedy over a year ago. Man, gosh, this is really clever. I have to admit on how they did this twist. Very well done. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, once again, this is gonna be all the time I have for today for this video, but don't worry, we still have plenty of Danganronpa trigger-happy Havoc to look forward to more soon. So stay tuned for more, and we'll find out who the true mastermind is. So, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to smash that like button, and leave a comment down below to see what you think about this video, and don't forget to share with a friend if you want to. And be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to get updated for the latest content. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Speedstreak